You may remember last year I came to you with a Kickstarter preview for Curse of the Usurper by the folks at Tomb Guardians Incorporated. Well, they are coming back to Kickstarter with a full 3-book, 1,000 plus page 5e adventure full of bells and whistles, including QR codes throughout the book for you to easily access thematic music, professionally voice-acted flavor text and conversations, plus just a whole slew of new minis to complement the adventure. As you can see here, you get a great combination of brand new creatures and D&D staples like giants and vampires, yetis, naga, imps, zombies, and much, much more. You can check out my original Kickstarter preview video up there in the eye, and in this paid Kickstarter preview, I actually have the mostly complete first book in the series right here, so I can tell you exactly what to expect. So allow me to introduce you to Trouble in Havdir, Book 1 of Curse of the Usurper. The 3-book Curse of the Usurper series gives you a level 1 to 15 adventure. This first book here covers levels 1 through 6. Now, this is a kind of adventure that I really enjoy and that we don't really see all that often. This is an urban-based sandbox adventure. Your characters will start off as passengers on a sailing ship under the employ of a dwarf named Vormir, a dwarf who is afflicted with an ancient curse. He is desperately trying to find a way to remove the curse from his clan and his family line, but he's running out of time. By the end of the prologue, he is forced to pass the curse on to the PCs, who will then be burdened with the responsibility of finding a cure before they too suffer the consequences. I am going to leave the details of the curse for you to discover in case you end up being a player in this adventure, but I will tell you that it has a very interesting and emotional origin. Once the prologue is completed and the PCs have the curse, which binds them together as a party if they weren't already, kind of like Baldur's Gate 3 with the little tadpole, they will then find themselves in the port city of Havdir, where the bulk of this adventure takes place. This is just about as sandboxy of an adventure as you can find, which I love. And it is very much a classic fantasy adventure with tomb delving and questing and monster fighting and tavern trawling and treasure hunting. The first part of the book will give you the details you need on the setting, including a 2-page list of all the important NPCs, their locations, and their associated quests. And pretty much every named NPC is connected to some sort of major or minor quest line, and quite a lot of them have their own custom stat block as well. You also get information on the city laws, punishments, and the factions in the city. They've done a good job on giving you the basic rules on a lot of activities that players want to do in a sandbox adventure, including owning and renting a home and those complications that come with that, building or hiring a sailing ship, opening a bank account to earn interest, taking on bounties, robbing a bank, and buying and renting mounts and other animal companions. Most of those mechanics are fairly simple, which is often enough, but you can always expand upon the ones that your players really want to focus on, and there are lots of resources out there to help you do that. The majority of the book is divided into districts and individual locations, and just about every single location has something for the PCs to do, whether it's one of the 5 major quest lines, one of the dozen side quests, or some side activities or adventure seeds that you can grow on your own. The locations are divided into residential areas, coastal locations, inns, taverns, and entertainment, civic buildings, the market shops, military outposts, and the prison. Let's do a deep dive on one location so you can kind of see what to expect from this book. And this gives me the opportunity to show you what's special about it. This is the Sunken Dream Tavern. The first thing you'll notice is the flavor text in italics. For folks who like well-written flavor text to help set the scene, and I do, this book has quite a lot. And next to the flavor text, you see that QR code. Scan that and it'll take you to an audio file of the voice actor reading the text for you. The actor's name is Kieran Davies. Let's take a listen.
This tavern is quite literally half sunk into the ocean on the coast of Havre. Windows made of melted green bottles cast an eerie light from the tavern interior. A twanging sailor song can be heard issuing from within. The structure appears to have been formed from a derelict ship with various rickety additions tacked on.
There's separate flavor text for inside and outside of the tavern. If you don't want to use the audio files, you can certainly read the flavor text yourself, altering it as you like. Now, depending on your internet connection, there can be a little bit of a delay in loading up the audio file, just a couple of seconds, but I'd recommend 2 things for getting the most out of it. First of all, connect your phone or your computer to a Bluetooth speaker of some sort for better audio, of course. And if you have a slower internet connection, you might also want to download the audio files ahead of time that you plan to use for the session and put them on your device of choice. Then you can just trigger them without having that slight delay that might slow down your momentum a little bit. One of the tougher aspects of running a sandbox adventure is that it can be hard to prep because your players can just go anywhere they like. The nice benefit of having the narration is that you can prep while the narration is happening. Take that minute as it's going to read ahead a little bit, glance through the role-playing guide to the people and the location and get a sense of what's happening. Having that narration essentially vamped for you means that, again, you don't lose momentum. Momentum is just so important for keeping people engaged in your adventure. You'll also find these little purple dialogue boxes throughout the adventure with extra descriptions and dialogue as well. You have audio for all of it, but having the sample dialogue there, even just in text form, helps you get a better sense of the characters that you're going to be portraying. One thing that I think more adventures should have is sample dialogue to get in the heads of the NPCs and the other creatures that you're going to be portraying. As someone who loves the role-playing aspects of these games, it helps me out a lot. To that end, as we look back at the Sunken Dream Tavern, you'll notice that we also have role-playing information for both the proprietor and the patrons. The proprietor even has a custom stat block, and oh my god, I don't think it's an exaggeration to say that almost everyone in here has their own custom stat block. I counted 60 stat blocks, nearly all of which had art as well. There are also dozens of custom items as well. The tavern here has a shopping section with 3 custom drinks, 2 of which have their own stats in the back of the book. Next, you'll find a little yellow box with loot information in case your party wants to steal something from the bar. And finally, you have your quest information. The Sunken Dream Tavern features the opportunity to arm wrestle an animated tentacle, which of course comes with its own stat block. Stick your hand into the water, defeat the creature, and win yourself 2 gold pieces and access to Isaac's special stash of fine vintage gin. Lose and be pulled into the water and possibly drown. And that's exactly what you can expect from almost every location. A hefty amount of flavor text, all of which is professionally narrated, role-playing information for the NPCs, quests or activities that you can do in that location, and extra dialogue or loot information where appropriate. The longer quests get an entire section in the back of the book with maps and everything else you need. I like that the quest information for those longer ones is kept separate from that setting guide in the front. Now, layout in RPG books doesn't get talked about a lot, but layout makes a huge difference when you're running an adventure. Having written and contributed to quite a few adventure books of my own over the years, I have come to realize how hard and important layout is. The book is laid out really well. It is not hard to find the information you need quickly, there's copious amounts of art throughout, character names are bolded, and one thing I really appreciate, any skill checks required are highlighted in red bolded text so you don't miss them. You also get well-formatted tables throughout for prices and roll results for skill checks and all sorts of stuff. This is a very professionally put together book. In terms of layout, it is better than a lot of the stuff out there from bigger companies. If you know, you know. The only thing I can't really talk to is the quality of the main quest line about that curse itself. That part of the adventure wasn't included in the preview book here because they're not wanting spoilers to get out there. But based on the rest of the adventure, I think you're in good hands. I also can't speak to the other 2 books in the series because I haven't seen them yet. The second book of the series, Darklands of Laskel, takes place in a dark frozen city filled with vampires and monsters and other undead. It certainly has a darker tone to it than this book. And the last book in the series, Mines of Shekel, is a mega dungeon that you can use independently of the rest of the adventure if you like. And you've got the supplemental book, Innocent in Still Echo, in which the PCs will delve into the underground prison of Still Echo. You've got lots of options for backing the campaign, and they all come with the voiceover and 10 music tracks. For $35, you can get the digital set of books, plus the adventure on Shard, the virtual tabletop engine. For $73, you get the 3 hardcover books as well. For $103, you get the collector set of books, plus a special sleeve to hold and display your books, a DM screen, the campaign dice, 6 pre-gen hero characters, and some blank hero character sheets, along with those digital copies. For $153, you get all that, plus minis to match your pre-gen heroes, and a huge set of STL dungeon terrain pieces that you can print and use at home. For $298, you get all that, plus 150 plus campaign stat cards, 50 plus player game maps, and 33 campaign monster minis. And they even have higher tiers if you want to contribute custom characters into the adventure itself and even get minis of them. I'll let you discover all of that for yourself. There's also all sorts of stretch goals to unlock more content, more STL files, more digital assets. Go check out the campaign for all those details. And there's lots of add-ons for minis, lots of minis, STL files, the additional Still Echo adventure book, the dice, the maps, all that stuff. Go check it out. You can visit the campaign website using the eye in the corner up there, or by using the links in the doohickey down below me. If you have any questions about the adventure, let me know, and I'll either answer them myself or I'll point you in the right direction. You can tell a lot of love and care and went into this adventure here, and I just want to congratulate the team for bringing it to this point. I know how much work it is to put something like this together. For potential backers, as always, remember that Kickstarter is not a store. You won't get your goodies right away. You are funding the development of a new project, and there's always a degree of risk involved. I vet the projects before I share them with you and only accept the ones that I would back myself, but please go read through the entire campaign and make sure it's something that you're comfortable backing before hitting that pledge button. In case I'm new to you, my name is Theo, and you can find reviews like this of adventures and minis and terrain and all sorts of stuff over on our YouTube channel at The Gallant Goblin. You can also find us on social media at one of these sites. And that's it for now. Stay safe, have fun, love each other, and I will see you next time at The Gallant Goblin.